Good afternoon, everyone. It's Miss Maggie here today. Well, I haven't seen you guys for a long time, isn't it? Well, that's because I have been very busy with all the crafts and classes and everything. But anyways, here I am today. So today we're going to do a slightly different video because I want to read to you my new favorite book. This book is called The World's Worst Parents by David Williams. I would recommend this book to children who are already attending primary school. This is a very funny book. So before we move on to the book, let's see, The World's Worst Parents. Do you know what does it mean when we talk about parents? Is it our teachers? No. Is it our sister and brothers? No. Parents. Can you tell me who are your parents? Yeah, we have mommy and daddy, right? That's right. So this book talks about parents all over the world, but not just normal parents, but very funny parents. And we shall go into details in a minute. Miss Maggie is going to read you the first chapter of this book about Peter Pong and his daughter, Ping Pong. And then you will find out how funny they are. And if you really like this book, I'm sure you can buy this in anywhere from the bookstore. Alright, let's get it started.
Peter Pong, the dad with the stinkiest feet in the world. Peter Pong. There are hundreds of ways in which parents can embarrass their children. Spitting on a handkerchief and wiping your chin with it. Sput, hold still. Yuck, get off me! Wheeling you around in a pram even though you grew out of it years ago. Ooh, my beautiful eagle baby. I'm not a baby, I'm 13 years old. Making you put on a song and a dance show every time your grandmother comes to visit. Dance, dance, dance for us! I'm not a performing monkey. Dance, monkey, dance! Giving you a big slobbery kiss at the school gates. Mwah! Get off me! I'm covered in slobber. Dressing you up like a Victorian sailor boy for a family wedding. Oh, you look delightful. I look like I should have gone down with the ship. Telling you over and over again that it was so much harder in their way. We didn't have any sweets in my day, my lad. If we were hungry, we would have to suck on a pebble. Oh, give it a rest, Dad. Your mom is the queen. Cutting your fringe with a pair of nail scissors. Hold still. Mom, it's all wonky. Wonky is cool. All the kids are doing it. No, it isn't cool and it'll never be. Telling your friends at your 12th birthday party stories about exactly how you used to deposit in your nappy when you were a baby. When I picked her up out of the cot, I thought it was only a number 1, but by the smug look on her face, I knew it had to be a number 2. Mom! However, very few parents can embarrass their child as much as this man. Peter and his wife Penny had a daughter, and they named her Ping Pong. There wasn't the embarrassing thing. The thing that was embarrassing was that Peter Pong's feet. The man had the cheesiest feet in the world. Peter may have been a short man, but he was a giant in the world of whiffs. If you had incredibly cheesy feet, it's most likely you'll hide them away. Put on some thick socks and contain them in some sturdy shoes or, better still, boots. Not Peter Pong. Oh no. Peter was proud of his Pong. He knew he had fantastic feet and wanted to share them with the world. So whatever the weather, Peter Pong would be sporting sandals, even in deep snow. They were open-toed leather sandals so that everybody could see his corns, blisters, and grotty toenails, and of course, enjoy the stink especially little people who were closest to the ground, short people. What was the smell exactly? Cheese. Not a nice mild cheddar or Wensleydale. Oh no. A really stink-ruscious running cheese that had been left out in the sun to curdle for a decade. The stink from Peter Pong was so strong it was actually visible. A yellowy, greeny, browny gas hummed it from his feet. Hum. To cover up the smell, Peter's daughter, Ping, took up cooking. The aromas of yummy ingredients floated across the kitchen and danced around the little flat. They almost cancelled out the smell of her father's feet. Over the weeks, months, and years, Ping became a master chef. Every night she made something delicious for the family. Pies, stews, curries, truffles, crumbles. Ping dreamed that one day she could escape the stinky family flat and become a world-famous chef with best-selling cookery books and restaurants all over the world. So great a chef did Ping become that her mother, Penny, suggested she enter a TV cooking competition named it Cook Off. It was a very popular series where amateur chefs competed to be crowned Cook of Cooks. Instant fame and riches beckoned for the winner of the show as it was watched by millions of people. Cooked Off was filmed in a giant pink marquee. The competition was for grown-ups, but Ping was so gifted that she was allowed to take part even though she was only 12. The little girl forbade her father to come to the show. She knew those stinky feet of his could ruin it for her big time. So stinky feet free. Ping made it all the way to the final, and being so talented and so young, she became the hot favorite with the public to win. The host of Cook Off was Tony Trouble, a big, jolly man who looked like he enjoyed his food. Trouble was famous for his outrageously obvious brown wig, brightly colored glasses, and flowery shirts. They served as a substitute for her personality, something that he lacked. Cook Off had two judges. The first was Bobby Bollywood, the owner of a famous Indian restaurant called the Taj Mahal No. 2. Bobby thought he was way cooler than he actually was. The second was an elderly lady and expert cook, Dame Penelope Plum. She was so posh, she made the queen look common. Every week, the two judges would taste the dishes and give their verdict on them. After some deliberation towards the end of the show, the Cook of Cooks would finally be crowned. For the final, it was decided that the remaining competitors should prepare an Italian dish. Aside from Ping, there were two other amateur cooks who made it to the last show. Henry Heft has made a huge impression on the viewers. He was a tattooed giant of a man who wore a beaten-up black leather biker jacket with a skull and a crossbones painted on the back. Heft has impressed the judges with his cream puffs. The other finalist was a sour-faced woman who never cracked a smile or even uttered a word, named Vivienne Vinegar. She wore gray roll-neck jumpers and long skirts, and seemingly cut her own hair with a pair of scissors and a pudding bowl. Vivienne had wowed the judges with her boiled eggs. So, the morning of the final came. Ping dashed around the supermarket with her parents to buy all the ingredients she needed to make her creamy mushroom pasta. However, when she called out for her father to reach up for a block of Italian Parmesan cheese from the top shelf, the man was momentarily distracted by his own stinky feet. When he leaped up to reach the shelf, he released it some understink. Understink is the worst of all the stinks as it comes from the bottom of the foot. The stench snaked all the way up from his toes to his nose, and even he was taken by surprise by the phantasmagoria. As his wife and child gagged, the sting actually blinded Peter for a moment. Tears welled in his eyes at the smell, and he picked up a pat of cooking fat by mistake. This was not noticed until much later. Once they had bought all the ingredients, the Pong family raced to the marquee, which was set up in a beautiful part of an English countryside. The final cook-off was live and beamed all over the world. "It's time to cook," announced Tony Trevor, and the 3 finalists got to work. Henry Haft was making a panettone, while Vivienne Vinegar was going to boil yet another egg. "How is that an Italian dish, Miss Vinegar?" asked Tony. "The hand who laid it was Italian," claimed Vivienne, and they were off. They had just half an hour to cook something delicious and wow the judges. All was going well for Ping Pong. She fried the mushrooms, added them to the creamy pasta sauce, and added that to the spaghetti she had boiled perfectly. Not too hard, not too soft, just right. The finishing touch was to be the Parmesan cheese she would grate on top, just to add that wow factor. She took out the cheese grater and smiled to herself. She had very nearly done it. However, when Ping reached into her bag to grab out the Parmesan cheese, she was horrified to discover a block of lard. "Dad!" she shouted across the marquee. Her proud parents had been peeping through a gap in the tent and now dashed over to her. "What's the matter, my love?" asked her mom. "Look!" exclaimed the girl, showing them the lard. "You picked up the wrong one, Peter!" chided Mom. "It wasn't my fault. I had something in my eye," he protested. "You had your own stink in your eye, Dad." "1 minute to go, cooks," announced Tony Trevor. "No!" cried Ping. "My dish is ruined. I'll never win now." Peter Pong pinged. "Ping!" "I had an idea," he said brightly. "I know where we can get some magnificent cheese." "There isn't time," hissed Ping. 30 seconds to go," called out Trevor. "See?" said the girl.
Alright, that's the end of what I wanted to show you today. What do you think is going to happen in the story? Do you think Ping Pong can still make spaghetti without the cheese? Where is she going to find the cheese? What will you do if you're Ping Pong? Alright, Miss Maggie will read you the end of the story next time. So stay tuned. Bye!
This is nothing you can run from. I hope you make it, 'cause I can change it anyway. For soon it's so long.